In the summer of 2001, a teenage boy went missing on his way to work, never to be seen again. In the years since, there have been no leads, no physical evidence, and no inkling as to what became of Jason Jalkowski. The lack of answers in this case has led it to become one of the most bizarre, chilling, and unexplained mysteries in Nebraska's history. Jason Anthony Jalkowski was born on June 24, 1981, in the city of Grand Island, Nebraska. He was the eldest of two sons, born to Kelly Murphy and Jim Jalkowski, and by all accounts lived an average, happy childhood. Though he dealt with a mild learning disability, described as relating to speech and language, Jason was known to be extremely intelligent. He graduated from Benson High School in Omaha and went on to attend Iowa Western Community College in Council Bluffs. He dreamt of becoming a DJ following his university graduation and was enrolled in its radio broadcasting program as a part-time student. To earn money, he worked part-time at Fazoli's, an Italian-American restaurant chain on the 80th and Cass Streets in Omaha. His mother called him shy and a quiet boy with a small handful of friends. She also noted that he was unusually polite and would go out of his way to help others. Jason was last seen on June 13, 2001. As it was the summer holidays, he and his 13-year-old brother, Michael, were left home alone together while their parents went to work that day. In the morning, his boss called him and asked him to come in early. Jason agreed, but his car was in the shop, so his boss suggested that he send one of his co-workers to pick him up. They arranged to meet at 11 a.m. at his old high school's parking lot, as Jason could walk there easily. For the next short while, Jason finished up some chores and prepared to head to work. A neighbor spotted him at 10:45 a.m., helping Michael bring in the empty bins from the side of the road and put them back in their garage. He then set off from his home in the area of 48th and Bedford Streets in the direction of Benson High. Jason's disappearance was noticed before long. He failed to show up to meet his co-worker at 11 a.m., so they called his house between 11:15 and 11:30 to find out where he was. Jason has never been seen or heard from since his abrupt vanishing that day. His parents mistakenly believed that they had to wait 24 hours before reporting him missing, so they didn't contact the police until the following morning. Investigators initially suspected that Jason was a teenage runaway, that he had left in some sort of emotional, angsty mood and would come home again when he was ready. Due to this fact, they unfortunately did not start investigating his disappearance until 10 days after he was last seen. To kick the investigation off, law enforcement began interviewing neighbors and conducted ground searches for any clues, but found nothing. CCTV cameras around the school showed that the 19-year-old never made it to Benson High. He had only needed to walk 7 blocks between his house and the school, and the area he would have traveled through was quiet, with little traffic. Jason left behind $650 in his bank account, which remains untouched. Similarly, he has not cashed any of his paychecks, his debit card hasn't been used, his mobile phone hasn't been touched, and he never picked up his car from the garage. His parents noted that he was due to start a new job the week after he went missing, and that he was very much looking forward to it. He had been in good spirits and was not involved with anyone romantically at the time he went missing. He did not do drugs or drink alcohol, and has no history of running away. He also has no known enemies. When he left the house on June 13, 2001, he carried no more than $60 on him, and had left behind his clothing and other effects, though he was known to have his red work t-shirt with him. All in all, there were no signs that Jason planned to leave, and his parents believed that he was too responsible to have left without telling anyone. A friend of his echoed similar sentiments when she reported, "He loves his parents and his brother more than anything in the world. He'd be talking to me on the phone, and he'd put me on hold so that he could tuck his brother into bed. His family came first." Both authorities and Jason's family believe that he met with foul play on the day of his disappearance. Amateur sleuths have suggested that he was picked up by somebody he knew or lured inside a home, since CCTV showed that he never made it to the school, suggesting he was interrupted while walking there. Others have theorized his body was disposed of following a hit and run, or that he was approached for help by a neighbor with sinister intentions. Unfortunately, though, there are simply no clues in the case to indicate what became of the 19-year-old. In 2007, Jason's mother quoted an unnamed police sergeant who called the disappearance the most baffling case he has seen in 30 years. Jason's parents, Jim and Kelly, created a non-profit organization named Project Jason in the aftermath of their son's disappearance. The organization aims to provide assistance to the families of the missing. Similarly, they lobbied for Jason's Law, which was passed by the Nebraska legislature in 2005. The law birthed the creation of a statewide database for missing people. Kelly later received a Volunteer for Victims Award in 2010 and the Nebraska Governor's Points of Light Award in 2014, both in recognition for the work she has done to help support the families of missing people. As of 2024, Jason's case remains open and is still being investigated by Omaha PD, but there have been no new leads in the last 23 years. Friends and family marked the 20th anniversary of his disappearance in 2021 by gathering at a park. Kelly stated, "Unfortunately, with this mark, I will not have had him more years than I had him in my life since he disappeared at the age of 19. He was almost 20, but he was 19. That's hard to fathom. 20 years. That's 2 decades. She recalled one of the last times she spent time with him when they had supper with the rest of the family. We didn't really have a name for it, but it was kind of a who laughs first game. You would say one word and it was usually something silly. You would just see who would start laughing, and he was always the one who lost. We knew he had a tendency to start giggling." 19-year-old Jason was last seen on June 13, 2001, when he left his home in the area of 48th and Bedford Streets in Omaha, Nebraska. He is described as a white male with brown hair and brown eyes. He is 6'1" and was 160 pounds at the time of his disappearance. When he was last seen, he was wearing a white Chicago Cubs or Sammy Sosa t-shirt, a blue or black Chicago Cubs baseball cap, black dress trousers, and black dress shoes. He was carrying his red work t-shirt with him. His speech and language disability may make him seem more vulnerable than he is, and he also uses the nickname JJ. If Jason is still alive, he will be 43 this year. If you have any information about his disappearance, you can contact the Omaha Police Department at 402-444-5657. And there you have the facts. Please leave a comment down below with your own theories and speculations, and remember to like this video and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you for watching. Stay alert, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.